Carbon Knights Gaming Channel Supreme. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Carbon Knights Gaming Channel. I am your host today, Battle Beast. Today we are doing a recap of all the microtransactions versus games videos we've done in the series so far. We're going to do a top 10 video, everybody's favorite. That's right, we've done at least 10 of these inexpensive $1 or $2 games, stacked up always against microtransactions. Not once did the microtransaction win, rightly so. So today, we're going to compile the games versus the games, and this is going to be my favorite list, my personal favorite list, and we're going to scale them on replayability, art style, content, story, if that's even a thing in some of these games, but just their general addictiveness. It's the ones I enjoyed the most, and it'll be my personal order, so I mean, don't take it too heavily, and I will go over the pros and the cons I found in each game, so you could make your own decisions if you choose to pick up one of these games, which I do recommend each one on their own merit, but on a different scale. So with that out of the way, let's begin our top 10 list with our runner-up, Razortron 2000. If you guys have been following this series from the beginning, you'll know that this was the very first game that we chose in this series. Now it's going to take our runner-up spot, but just quickly, I will still do some pros and cons. Cons first, with the game, I call it one-dimensional even though it's two-dimensional, but there's just not a whole lot to the game. It's a very Flappy Bird-esque style game. You know, it's not like Flappy Bird, but there's just, you deal with the course as it comes at you. There's no upgrading your cars, there's no anything. It's just drive and avoid, grab fuel, like that's the game. The art style is very cool, but some of the levels are just so bland, like green on green. They could have done something else there, that's just personal taste. And I didn't find a ton of replayability. Once you kind of get the pattern where the fuel comes at a certain timed interval, it just wasn't a ton of fun for a very long time. I really liked it when I first started it though. It's just that be aware that your dollar will peter out after a little while. Apologies to all the Peters watching the video. Pros of the game. Best soundtrack of all the games I think I've played. If not the best, it's up there. It's very good music, very enjoyable. I mean, if that's your thing. Music is very subjective, but I liked it. The game is very challenging. Some of you out there will just love a challenge. Like, obviously, think of Flappy Bird again. How many people went nuts over that game? But that's that. And the last one, it is a great time filler. You know, if you just got a few minutes here or there, you're exporting a video, you're waiting on a phone call or something, it's great to sit down. You don't have to think. You don't have to join a squad. You just click play, and away you go. It's perfect for that. That's it. That's runner-up. 11th spot. Didn't quite make the top 10. Very first game, Razortron 2000. So coming in at our official number 10 spot is Autumn Park Mini Golf. Now, this game is still fun. It is still good. The reason it gets our 10 spot is because as an inexpensive mini golf game, it faces very stiff competition with other inexpensive mini golf games. Now, for example, Golf with Your Friends is out there. I paid about $5 for that. I paid $1.19 for Autumn Park Mini Golf. I only got 2 courses of the golf courses in Autumn Park. It does not have multiplayer. And what else? The music, again, subjective, but man, that music killed it for me. So I played my own in the background every time I played off the video. But yeah, no, it's just lacking features. Now, here's what it does right. It is very beautiful. The graphics in this game are amazing for a mini golf game. Like, they're super good. Well done on the graphics. And you know what? Leave that music on. A lot of people will enjoy that jazz style music. It is very relaxing. So if you're raging on Rocket League, play some Autumn Park Mini Golf, and away you go. Not a bad game, but just faces stiff competition in the inexpensive games market. Coming in at number 9 is the only horror scary game we looked at, called The Tape. Now, The Tape has pros and cons like every other game. Cons first, as always. No replayability was the biggest problem with this game, but that's not the game's fault, that's the genre's fault. Scary movies are never scary the second time through. Same thing with the game. The other only beef I really had with the game is that the ending does not really match the tone of the game. Now, because of its genre, I am not going to spoil the ending for you, but I thought it was, while entertaining, quite bizarre. Just the game was set up so wonderfully, but then the finale, you're like, what am I doing? So you play it for yourself. I do enjoy it. It's so expensive, and I really do. It scared me. Like Slender was, that kind of game. It's not like Slender, but it just creates that jump scare. It's very well set up. Didn't follow at the execution for me. That's the cons. The pros of the game, I've already kind of gone over some, but great scary atmosphere, well-timed scares. They don't overuse the jump scare. When I started this game, I just wanted to play more. Like the suspense it builds was just so well done. Very interesting. I like the game. It's just, it's a one-shot wonder here. You're going to play it once and you can maybe play it twice, but I mean, unless you're really into it, it's kind of disposable. That's it. And that's why it takes number 9 on our list. Sliding into number 8 on our list is Terra Incognita, Chapter 1, The Descent. Now, this game had the potential to go so far. It is short. I do recommend it for the price, but with a grain of salt. And we'll go over that, and you'll probably kind of get that when I go over the cons and the pros. Cons first. The game is incomplete. It is abandoned, and that is a shame, because I'm telling you, this was a really good story. Well written, but that's a pro. Let's stop that. Let's go back to the more cons. Incomplete game, and the character models were quite recycled, which is I get why. I would do the same thing if I was making a game, but it was distracting. Like, hey, everybody's portrait looks almost the exact same, but I get why they did that. But over to the pro side of the fence, very good writing, very good level design. What you do get to play is a very good little game. Just be aware, and it's not really spoiling it that it's not a finished game. There's no chapter 2 or anything, because you can just read the actual Steam page and kind of figure it out that 2015 was the game's launch, and then a couple updates, and then all of a sudden nothing. So very, very, that's a shame. That's why it does not finish higher on this list, potentially at number 1, but nothing. It's half of a package. And that's why it's at number 8. Could have done so well. Sneaking its way into number 7 on our top 10 list is Russian Car Driver. Now, if you watch the video, you may be surprised that this isn't lower on the list, because I didn't have much good to say about it at the time. But I'm telling you, this game, there's a lot to it. It was by far the one game in the list that made me change my mind about it the more I played it. So the cons first. What's bad about the game? Broken English. The English is so broken. The second bad one is the graphics. Like, all these games, there's different art styles and they're all the same price, but the graphics were, noticeably dated. We're talking like 15, 20 years old kind of style. It was rough. But you know what? I'm not a total graphics dude. It was just really weird to see that kind of a texture model, but whatever. It's just personal. Anyways, won't give it too much merit on that. And the third worst point of the game was the police AI. The police are way too easy to avoid, way too easy to just not worry about. I'm glad they're not Grand Theft Auto 5 in the early days when the cops were just the Terminator. Like, oh my gosh. But they should have done a little more work on that, and I get it's not easy, but it's just a personal thing. And those are the cons. The pros of the game. Broken English. I love the broken English in this game. It's terrible and it's great at the same time. It's just a joy to read. Second, probably the biggest pro of this game, there's actually so much content in this game when it comes to leveling up your car. I played for hours and never did finish all the story missions. Elder Scrolls can take a lesson from the amount of missions in this game. There's rally mode, racing mode, there's so many modes, and you upgrade and you unlock things as you go. The most content by far is in this game, and that gives it its leads to the third pro, pro video maker. But it's replayability. You can play and play and play this game, and I have, and I've not even gotten close. I think I'm 33% complete, and I've played for hours. So there is a lot to this game. If you don't mind the graphics, you don't mind the broken English, I know I don't, but just easily get by those things. A great game for the price. So much. There's so much to the game. And that's number 7 on our list, Russian Car Driver. Who likes cute little puppies? Everybody likes cute little puppies. But you remember Montaro, right? Montaro is stealing number 6 in the top 10 slot for its wonderfully cute game. Now, cons first, as always, for Montaro. Just, one-dimensional gameplay. You jump, you anticipate, you jump, you anticipate, you jump, you fail, you start over, rinse and repeat. Kind of a one-dimensional mechanics of game. It is a 2D side-scroller. Very unforgiving. Now, you might like that. This is kind of one of those to each their own, but I'm going to give it a con is how unforgiving this game is. Like, you've ticked off some of the baddies, the chickens, for example, or the flying crows, and just as you're making your move to avoid them, that's when they have the chickens running across the screen. There's just no way. I'm sure you'll get better at the game, and people that are a lot more skilled will go a lot farther than I have. I do enjoy the challenge, but there's a point where you're like, come on, that's so unfair. Not being able to jump on your enemies, come on. If you Mario style that Goomba stomp things, they should be fine, but it's like a no contact allowed. It's unforgiving, but whatever. The pros for the game, so funny. I actually LOL'd pretty hard when I saw how you generate health by stealing a little glimpse at some underwear. It's very fun, the game. That's the second pro. I mean, that's all, like, come on, that's the best pro there could be, right? It's fun. Cute costumes for the little doggy, the little doge. The cutest costumes. I mean, peanut butter jelly, and the moon, and One Punch Man costume. Really funny. That comes in, and then the final pro is, I kind of mentioned it, replayability. You can play this game and on and on. While it's similar to Razortron 2000, there's a lot going on, and then I don't know, it's just, to me personally, I was able to play this a lot more and have played it a lot more than a runner-up, Razortron 2000, even though they're kind of the same scrolling game, where you take things as they come at you. That's just probably with the art style, a few mechanics, but that's kind of my summary of Montaro. A lot of fun, very humorous, cute little dog. Number 6. Congratulations, everybody. We've made it to the middle spot on our top 10 list. Number 5. Action-packed side-scrolling game, Jet Gunner. Now, this is a blast from the past style game. Looks very Sega. I just love this game. It took a bit to get into it. It's not my style of game. However, super fun. I think if you like these action-packed Contra style games, you're going to love Jet Gunner, and the price is unbeatable. So, what's wrong with it though? Color choices. There's just this pink stuff all over the place. It's just weird. Again, very personal, but I mean, come on. The contrast of colors was really distracting. And second, field of view. I mean, that's part of the mechanics probably, but I would like to see more of the map at one time. It's not like this game is very hardware demanding, so we can do that, but it might, it's part of, you only get so much time to test your reaction, etc. I get that, but that's what I'm going to put. I don't like it. Let me see more. Dang it. The pros, non-stop action, very fun, always best pro. Sounds great. I love the sounds in this game. Really great. And final pro, well, maybe not, but replayability. You can play and play and play this game if this is your style, like you like the Contra style games. You can play this one over and over and over. I have. It's really made side-scroller games like this grow on me. I play them, they're not my thing, but this one kind of made me really grow fondness for this style game, and that's what it's all about, right? Grabbing your audience, and if it's that engaging, well, it's got to be good. That's why Jet Gunner comes in at number 5. Taking the number 4 spot through the power of archaeology, doesn't need to make sense, don't worry about it, is Diamond Dan. Now, Diamond Dan was a great 3D puzzle game where your objective is to find the things and find the exit. Really fun. But however, cons first. Cons for Diamond Dan. Not a lot. But when the objective of the game is to just, run around a cubic world and find the blue and find the exit. That's it. I mean, no upgrades, no this and that. I didn't get very far, so maybe there's more to it. Like, I've played it quite a bit, but maybe there's, those extra unlock characters. Like, remember games that you had to beat the game before you started unlocking other characters? I do. That's not bad, but I didn't get there. So that's the only con for this one. Other than that, pros. There's actually a nice text story you can read as you play along to increase your immersion into this inexpensive game. It's not a bad story. It's very fun, even though it is one-dimensional on the con side. It's tough to give the one-dimensional thing an argument, but it's like, yeah, there's not much to it, but what there is fun, and I will give it that. The sound's great. I love the music, love the sound effects. Everything sounds funny. The sprites make good music or good noises. And replayability. Yeah, it's all personal. For me, I was able to play this quite a bit before I had to move on to the other ones, and it's still installed. And I still can't wait to go back and play it some more. So that's the pros. The reason it's so high on the list compared to some of the other ones is just because it all has the package. It has the story, the fun, the progression. It does progression so well, where each puzzle, each cubic temple area gets a little more challenging and makes you think and introduces new mechanics. They do that very well. So I'm giving it. And Diamond Dan, and Diamond Ann. Come on. Of course they're going to be up high on the list. But that's number 4. So we're at the podium now. Coming in at number 3 for the bronze medal is The Legend of Proty. Now, as our previous list in the title, I only gave Diamond Dan one con. I'm only going to give The Legend of Proty one con. And The Legend of Proty's con is, it is too short. This game needs sequel after sequel. And I say that because as we slide over to the pros side, this game has the best writing of all the inexpensive games. Like, it has humorous writing and just a great story with perfect writing at moments. Like, it's really good. Well done. The humor is great again. And then the mechanics of the game are a lot of fun too. As you gain more forms with Proty, you can access more areas of the level. Kind of like when you play Zelda games and Link gets the hook shot. Now you can go over here. Well, as you get the form of beaver, you can now traverse the water. And as you get the ram, now you can be a mountain goat and jump up some of the rocks. Well done. Great package of a game. I really hope that these developers kind of do more of this kind of thing. And the writing was top notch. So bronze medal to The Legend of Proty. Great game. So here we are, final 2. Runner-up is Entropy Rising. Entropy Rising will take the number 2 spot on our list. Very close to being the top. But it just didn't quite edge out. This is like a Portal clone. You guys have played Portal, right? The cake is a lie. This game's like that. Very puzzle game oriented. Really, really fun. But before we say all the fun things, cons first. It's too dark. You can fix that with brightness, but it's just a criticism. Like, Portal was very bright, very open, very easy to see, because you're going to think you're looking around for solutions to your problems and they're hidden in a dark corner. But that being said, they do contrast some of your solutions with, neon lights, but just, it could have a better atmosphere in my opinion. Mildly buggy. I don't expect these really inexpensive games to come bug-free. AAA games don't come bug-free. I mean, they should come less buggy, but this one I had trouble with stuttering. I was able to clear it up on my end, but I chose settings. I tweaked settings you shouldn't have to tweak to clear up the bugginess. Basically, long story short, my graphics cards were too powerful. I had to turn down my computer's ability to fix some of the bugginess. So weird. But that's it. That's it for cons. The pros, very fun game. Replayability, absolutely. These puzzle games, you struggle with this area, that area, and then once you beat them or get as far as you can, you start over and do it again, and you feel that bit of progression. Really great. Clever level design. Got to give them credit. They did well with some of the puzzles. And that brings us to our final pro, which is it's actually a kind of a healthy brain game. You train your brain like those Lumosity apps or whatever, but it's great for your just mental exercise. It's not just you're not sitting there and being a drone. You're actually engaging your mind, and it's healthy that way in that form. Sitting on your butt is not healthy though, so remember to exercise in between games. So that's number 2 on the list, Entropy Rising. Highly recommended. Well, we're already at the 20-minute mark, so I feel like we should save the top spot for a separate video. Just kidding. Number one spot, my favorite game of the series is Terrorhedron. Slow clap to you if you were able to guess the game, because if you kept up with the series, it was the only one left. But it does not do everything perfectly. Now, cons. Kind of a bland design, don't you think? Very blah, very blah. I mean, not much for texturing and colors in this. I mean, there is, but come on. It's just like gray everything and then some colored polygons. But, I mean, I get it. It's representative. It's fine. Limited soundtrack. While the music is good, it is kind of just, there's not a lot there. Not a lot of cycles of tracks. No big deal. You can put your own on in the background, right? Just like all these games, I've given a hard time for the music, but I mean, it would have been nice just to see another song or two in there with the same intensity to them. That's all the cons out of the way, though. Not much wrong with the game. Pros, replayability. You can play and play and play and play this game because it has so many levels of difficulty that anybody would be challenged. It's very fun. Even down all the way to easy is where I had to start, and then you get used to the game, and then I was able to crank it up. But that'll roll into our second point of this is progression done well, where holy crap, I am overwhelmed as I'm playing the game. I couldn't hardly do anything, and then when I was able to make the video for you guys, I was able to beat that. And I don't think I mentioned it, but when I passed the level in the video, that was the first time I was actually able to pass a level. And from there, you understand the game, you understand the mechanics. You're just really, you're training your mind to learn. You do the old brain training again. Just healthy for your cognitive function. Really awesome. And intense. And I'm going to give this the big final pro, and be careful with this one. This is by far the most addictive game on the list. I had to actively stand up from the computer to stop playing, walk around, go rock around the house, get away from it, just so I could refocus my efforts on making the video back when I got this game. It is incredibly addictive. Hours went by and I'm just like, oh, intense. Did I win? Oh, which guns? Which upgrades? Just sucked me right in. And because of the replayability and the addictiveness, I gotta give Terrorhedron my top spot. Love this game. I still play it the most out of all these games. For my personal list, champion goes to Terrorhedron. Well done on this game. And now I know what I'll be looking for in the future for my own personal collection. So that's our top 10 list of very inexpensive games that we had up against Microtransactions. Rewatch the video. I mean, put in the comments if you've played these games and you would have changed the order. I'd like to hear your arguments. Of course I would. And you're not wrong if you do have a different order, unless you put... I liked all the games, so unless you didn't put Terrorhedron near the top, but maybe that's not your game. I don't care. Anyways, thanks so much for watching this long drawn-out video. We're going to be about 25 minutes. Really do appreciate the watch, everybody. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more, and we will enjoy each other's company in the next series. Have a good one. Hey everybody, it's BattleBeast here. Thanks so much for watching. If you're listening to me now, it means you made it all the way to the end of the video. Congratulations, you're doing it right. If you want to continue to do it right, hit that like button and check out our social media links in the description. Have a good one.